the next study section, which is the study section 3, which is word processing. We're going to be looking at a case study of Microsoft Office Word 2016. We have different versions of this Microsoft Word, but we're choosing 2016 because it seems to be it's actually one of the latest version of the Microsoft Office Word as we speak. So we're going to be looking at Microsoft word processors, then basic features of the Microsoft Word processing application, and then we'll be looking at the Microsoft Office Word 2016. Then we have, okay, let's define what the word processor is. We say a word processing software allows you to create text-based documents, similar to how you would type a document on a typewriter. However, the word processing software offers more powerful formatting and design tools, allowing you to create complex documents. Now, a word processing document is nothing but a software package that enables you to manipulate text, give them the format you want. I believe you must have heard of typesetting. Word processing is nothing more but typesetting of words, fonts, images, characters, charts, as the case may be, in order to create a document. A word format, a word processor gives you as an output document in several formats. We have the .docx, the docs format, we have the HTML format, we have the text format, that's the TXT format. There are different kind of format of different output of it. So we have examples of word processors. We have the Microsoft Word, which we'll be looking at later. We have the WordPerfect, we have the Google Docs, the Open Office Writer, etc., etc. Now, next we're going to be looking at the basic features of the word processing application. Now, a word processing application, there are some basic features every word processing application needs to possess, especially in our modern days where we are more advanced in the manipulation of text. Now, we have the fonts, okay, also called typeface. In some applications, you see them as you see the word font as typeface. So whenever you see typeface, it refers to fonts. Now, this refers to a set of characters of a certain design. You can choose from several pre-installed fonts available. Now, we have different types of fonts. We have the New Times Roman, we have the Calibri, we have so many of them, the bold English text, so many of them. Now, these are nothing but a kind of, in a layman's language, we can refer to it as a kind of font writing or handwriting. You can choose to format your entire text on, or a particular set of selected text on. You could choose different font styles for different headings, different formats of your document. So in order to do that, you have to focus on the font type or the font style of your text in a particular document. Then we have the word wrap. Word wrap places text on the next line when the right edge of the page has been reached. As you're typing in your computer, it's meant to, an example of a word wrap is your notepad in your computer. You find out that every Windows system has a notepad. Now, when you're typing on that notepad, the notepad, if you maximize your WordPad screen, you find out that it types serially, endlessly, because it doesn't have a word wrap. But lately, Microsoft Word have enabled word wrap on it. But if you go there, click on the file, you will see word wrap. Either on the file or the format, you will see word wrap. Try checking it and keep typing. It keeps typing on a straight line. Now, what word wrap does in a proper text format, a word processor, is that it enables your document to be arranged line after line without going beyond the paper margin, because the standard paper margin every word processing software uses is the A4 paper size. So it makes sure that you have a margin that your text doesn't go beyond. So when it gets to the edge, it wraps it under. That is why it is referred as word wrap. It gets to the edge, it wraps to the next line, and it continues. Then we have the paragraphing. Normally, even on our pen on paper writing, we paragraph. You can also paragraph when you are editing your text. We have the tables. You can also insert tables. You can insert charts. You can insert graphics. You can do a find and replace. Maybe you have a place where you have a name, John, in your document. You want to find all the Johns. There's a function on almost every word processing software where you click on find, you find the word John, you probably want to replace the John with another name, or replace that particular word or text or letter with another thing. Now, the word processor, continue the word processor. We say the word processor create a variety of documents, including letter, resumes, reports, brochures, newsletter, and more. You can use the word processor to do all of these things. We say that the word processor tools allow you to check spellings and grammar, or find and replace text. Now, beyond finding and replacing texts, it also enables you to check it helps you to check grammatical errors and help you to check spell errors. We probably must have seen that even on our mobile devices when you're chatting. If there's an error somewhere or you misspell something, your phone, if your spell and grammar check function is on or activated in the phone, it will correct it for you, or it will underline it red. The same thing goes for the word processors. They possess the same features. Then we say formatting allows you to change typeface, page setting, document layout, graphics on a document. We've talked about all of these things. So now we're looking at a Microsoft Word Office 2016, which is going to be a basic case study we're going to be looking at for the word processor. We say the Microsoft Office Word 2016 is the 16th version of Microsoft Office Powerful Word Processing Program. Using Word, you can create professional documents for nearly any type. So, on this is like a view of what the startup is like. On this startup, you will see there are different templates you could even pick. Using the Microsoft Word 2016 is more advanced that if you just bump on it on the startup page, you will see either to choose a blank page or to pick from any of those templates there. Now we're looking at a window, the window that is displaying what the Microsoft Word interface looks like. When I use the word interface, I'm referring to what the user sees, what the user interfaces with in the windows of the app. So when you open the Microsoft Word, this is what it looks like. Now, we have different segments. We have different segments to the windows now. Now, looking on the screen, we're going to see that we actually have the first bar, the first line of bar, which we refer to as title bar. Then we have the following bar, which we refer to as menu bar. Now, the menu bar possesses more kind of functions. We have the home, we have the insert, where we insert a lot of things. We insert pictures, we insert images, we insert videos, we insert GIFs, animated pictures. You can also insert designs you can also import designs from another different software and include into this. You also insert shapes and different designs. So we have the design, the layout, the reference, the mailings, the review and view. So all these things are menu options that are lined up on what we call the menu bar. Now, around here you will see, for many of you who are conversant with this Microsoft Word of any version, you will find that it will have different toolbars. We have different tools on this section that we refer to as the toolbar. We have the bold button, we have the icon, the italics button, underline, caps selection, we have the font selection, the font size selection, we have the indexing, we have the color, font color, field colors, and so on and so forth. There are so many tools you can make use of. Now, in the 2016 Microsoft Word, whenever you click on a particular menu, the tools under that menu are displayed under the toolbar. So as it is now, these are by default the basic ones you find under the home. So if you explore it during the practicals, you will see it. You will see more of what I'm talking about. Then next we have the text area. Now, in this text area is where the typing happens. Is where you now begin to type your document. That is where the document you type is displays itself. If you look closely, you see the blinking cursor there, marking where you're going to start. We're supposed to have the rulers by the side, which help you to set the margin of your document. Then lastly, we have the status bar on the windows displaying. So the status bar helps you see the number of pages. As you see, this is page 1 of page 1, 0 words. We haven't really typed anything here. I drag this into this document as a title, as an image title. It's not actually written. So if anything was to be written, you will see the number of words. So the number of words here is still 0, and your spell checker is still marking good. If there's something that's wrongly spelled, it will mark it red. So we're going to talk about these functions. These are just the things we talked about. We say the title bar, the menu bar, and the toolbar. We've talked about them. Then the rulers. The rulers help you to set margins and so on and so forth. Now, major operations in Microsoft Word. There are major operations, basic operations you must definitely perform if you're using the Microsoft Word. Now, all these features I explained are similar in all the Microsoft Office suite. Now, it's called the Microsoft Office suite, but it's actually a Microsoft Office package. Now, when we refer to the word package, when we're talking about software, they know that that software is ESUT. Is a complete application. Like we have the Corel application package, where we have the Corel Draw, Corel Paint, Corel Illustrator, and so on, Corel Presentation, and so on and so forth. Now we have the Adobe suite, which is Adobe package. We have the Adobe PDF, it has the Adobe Image, it has the Adobe Premiere Pro, the Adobe After Effects, and so on and so forth. So some softwares come in packages, like Microsoft Office comes in packages, where it has the Microsoft Office Word, the Microsoft Office Excel, and so on and so forth. Now, these features we are explaining, we're going to be explaining them when we relate to another Microsoft Office suite again, or another Microsoft Office application, because these features are almost the same. Just in some cases where we have some little differences, we'll talk about those differences. So one thing you must do is that you're going to create a new document. We talked about saying that you must always pick a blank. It's either you want to start afresh, because maybe what we're seeing on the templates that will be displayed from the startup page is not what we want from the initial point of launching it. Then maybe you have a document you've worked on before, you have a document you were working on or you've worked on before, you want to just access it. Then that's where you perform the open function. You click on open to be able to open an already existing document from your computer. We say open a document from your computer or any other location that you have access to. Okay? Then we have the save as function. The save as function enables you as a user to be able to save your document for the very first time. Now, the save as function has two operations that it performs. Is either you're saving for the first time, it performs. If you're saving a document for the first time, let's say you open a document, a fresh document, you're working on it, and you're just saving it for the first time. What is done or what is carried out is a save as function, where it brings out a dialog box for you. From the dialog box, you're going to be picking where the location on your device or outside your device that is plugged to the device that you want to save that particular document to. You will see where you have to pick the file name. You enter the file name, the name you want that file to bear, that document you're creating, in this case, to bear. Then you will choose for Microsoft Office. It has on every saving dialog box, you will have where you can click on a type. You click on the type, it drops down the entire Microsoft versions you can save in, and it can also show you different document formats you can save in. You pick all those things and you click on save and it saves. Subsequently, if you're editing that document, all you do is save, save, save. For instance, for practical purposes, whenever you launch your Microsoft Word and you are about to start doing anything, the best thing to do is to first of all do the save as and save the document somewhere. So that whatever you do, you either pressing Ctrl S to save automatically or click on the save button to save. It keeps updating the file where you saved it in a particular location in your computer. Then the print function enables you to just click on the print. You first of all see a preview of what you want to print. You do the page setting, the layout settings, the color settings, as the case may be. If you're using a color printer, then you hit on the print button and it prints out for you. Then we have major operations in the Microsoft. We were talking about major operations. We have the share function. Now, this share function, because we are in a communication age where you communicate virtually everything, you find out that in the Microsoft Office 2016, you have the share button on every of the Microsoft Office application. What it enables you to do is to automatically say you developed a document, you created a document using Microsoft Word. You can just quickly, when you're done, click on that share button and you share it to a mail, share it to a friend using Microsoft supported applications or softwares, as the case may be. Then we have the exports. With Microsoft Office Word 2016, you can export your document, you can export whatever you're doing in PDF. You can export in XPS. You can also export in TXT. You can also export in scripts, different formats you can export in. Now, somebody may ask, what is the difference between carrying out an export and saving? Why am I exporting to PDF? Why am I not saving it as PDF? Now, PDF on its own is a protocol text readable format of any text. Is what internet protocol understand for text viewing in most cases. So, and in such cases, you need for you to be able to develop those courses, those text or documents for internet visibility. You need to sign up and pay to some certain authentic online text editors. But with Microsoft Word, you can just easily type in your computer offline, go online, and upload them. So you can also export. In this case, most cases, whatever whenever you do something and you want to push it out for use only on another platform or on another software, you export those things. Like in Microsoft Word now, whatever you export to PDF cannot be edited in PDF. can hardly be edited in PDF. That is the way it is designed. Whatever you export using CorelDRAW, when you export a design using CorelDRAW now, is the kind of the software we call CorelDRAW for developing graphics. Whatever you export using CorelDRAW cannot be edited again because it was exported. Now, you can have accounts, you can create a Microsoft account online and link your Microsoft Word to the account for easy communication with Microsoft. So it's when you have an account that you can actually do the feedback. Because the feedback enables you to run suggestions to Microsoft Office. That we have Microsoft Office 2016 is because of the feedback they get. What makes a good software is feedback. If you have channel for feedback where your users will use your software and give feedback on their experiences with your software, then you can be able to improve. We have, like this 2016 is the 16th version of Microsoft Word over the years. And they didn't come up with these ideas alone. It's also another means of gathering ideas, picking into people's brain, knowing what your users want, know what your users are expecting, what is obtainable in their different work areas and in their different spaces. Then you can close whenever you're done.